Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Married at First Sight. This is season 11, episode 6, and it was titled I See Red Flags. Alright, so I wrote my notes a little differently this time. I'm trying something different. I'm not sure if I'm going to like the flow of how I wrote my notes, but bear with me. Alright, we are still in Cancun, Mexico. It's the last few days of the honeymoon. So when we start the episode off, it's like day 3, day 4. We see everybody is waking up. We see Henry. He's been a little bit more vocal. We see Karen and Miles. They're up early so they can grab a cabana, I guess, and maybe enjoy the resort without everyone kind of being there and stuff like that. Basically, they're all having a good time in paradise or whatever. So I'm going to start with Karen and Miles. And then I'm going to kind of back... like I said, bear with me. Because, the way I wrote my notes was I put everybody in like their chunks and their scenes and stuff like that. But it was a pivotal scene where everyone kind of gathered together. They kind of influenced and changed different mindsets of different couples and stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of challenging for me to do that because, you know, I normally just go from the start to the end, but I don't want the video to be like too long or whatever because y'all know I can get into it and start yakking. But y'all be watching it, so I appreciate it. But I'm just trying something different, like I said. So, like I said, just bear with me. I'm gonna start with Karen and Miles. So Karen and Miles, they're in the water. She had her little booty out in her little bathing suit. Her bathing suit was real cute. They were both like basically having like a good time. They were both feeling comfortable with each other. And he decides because he's feeling so comfortable that he wants to share something with her, that he wants to open up because he's feeling safe and she's making him feel like he can open up to her and share, and she's his wife, so he just feels like he should let her know some things. I was kind of sort of like, what gave him the impression that he could be comfortable with her or be open with her? Because I'm not sure if it's just me, but I really haven't seen where Karen is like that open and loving and how can I say this without being mean? She just be seeming cold, okay? She just seemed cold. So I don't know where, or maybe it's like off camera that it's something we're not seeing. Maybe they're just making her look like she's cold on camera or just like kind of closed off or whatever. I mean, she seems to like him and she seems to be trying to give him a chance and stuff. But to me, she just seems like real cold, like real closed off type thing. So I'm not sure what she gave him that made, or what she showed him that made him feel like he could be comfortable with her or open with her or whatever like that. But at any rate, he was open with her and he tells her, because at first she was just looking like, well, what are you about to tell me? And he was like, well, I got 700 kids. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with that. So it's like a little jokey thing. But then he goes into what he wants to tell her. And it is that he was diagnosed with clinical depression a few years ago or whatever, and he was saying like he takes medication for it. He has it under control right now, but at times he can feel like a little down. He can have days where he doesn't want to get out of bed. He can have days where he just doesn't want to do anything or doesn't want to be bothered. It can be cranky and stuff. He was just letting her know what he goes through basically with his clinical depression. You could see her just kind of taking it in, and you could see her demeanor change when he was saying it, because she was like, oh, okay. Like, she didn't really say anything the whole time he was talking or nothing like that, or she just looked scared. Then in the confessional, or like on the sidelines talking to the producers, the camera people, whatever, she says, and this really pissed me off and really irritated the fuck out of me, because, and I cuss. Because she said that him having depression is that he's not masculine enough and she wants a masculine man, and she doesn't know if this can withstand their marriage, or if her marriage will last, or if she can deal with it, and so forth like that. Okay. And then she said it triggered a red flag. So I'm like, him having depression is a red flag. Okay. To me, that's not a red flag. To me, it's something that you should be concerned about on how you can handle it. Because if you've never dealt with someone that you know of who has clinical depression or has depression or anxiety or any other type of mental illness or anything like that, that's something that you may not know how to deal with or anything like that. That's understandable. That's something you can be like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm strong enough to handle that person's illness or their symptoms and stuff like that. That's okay. That's fine to me. I don't have a problem with her saying that she doesn't know if she'll be able to handle it because maybe she has not dealt with anyone who has those type of mental illnesses. But the part where she was saying like he was not masculine and that didn't make him strong and all, I'm like, him having a mental illness doesn't make him a man. Like, what the fuck? Because he gets depressed and stuff like that, he's not a man or he's not masculine and stuff. Like, what kind of bullshit was that? I didn't like that part. I didn't like that part at all. And then before she even met the man, when she was looking on his Instagram and stuff like that, she was saying he was too emotional and all this other stuff. So now that just entangles on what you were saying before and what you was feeling before. So now you don't like this man because he has clinical depression. Like, he can't help that he has depression. It's not like he woke up one day and was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna be depressed. Like, and what? So that really like pissed me off the way she said that. Oh. That like really made me so mad. That like irritated me because I'm like, that has nothing to do with anyone's masculinity or femininity, that they have mental illness. Like, they just have a mental illness. If he's able to cope with it, he sought help for his depression. He could just be sitting around like, oh, woe is me, Eeyoring and shit or whatever. But no, he went and got help. He's taking medication. So I'm assuming he's seeing like a psychologist or a therapist, somebody to talk to and stuff like that. He said he talks to his friends about it and they kind of help him get out of it and stuff like that. And then he understands what symptoms and his triggers are, so he can tell her what to kind of look out for. So it sounds like he has a good grip on his illness and so forth. So for her to be kind of like the way she is, that just is, it's just that rubbed me the wrong way. And so she was saying like, she told him to his face, like, thank you for sharing. I know that might have been hard for you to share. And then she was saying, like, how would you communicate if you're having a bad day or something like that? And like, how would she know how he's doing well? And he articulated how he would be feeling like if he's not feeling well, he'll say, like, I'm not having a good day. It's nothing personal against you, but I just need some time or something like that to her, so she can know, like, okay, he just needs his space. And she also said that she needed space too. So what's the problem? But yeah, and then she was just like, I never dated anyone who has this issue, but now I'm married to him. Like, I don't know. So I'm just like, I didn't like her. I didn't like, I'm not gonna say I ain't like her. But right now I don't like her. I didn't like her in that instance because that just turned me off. Because like I said, that has nothing to do with his masculinity, that he has clinical depression. Like, he can still be a man. He's still caring. He's still opening up doors. He's still carrying your heavy ass luggage all around. He's still trying to like, come on now. She's just too much for me. Let's go on to Woody and Imani, because no, do we want to go to Woody? Yeah, let's go to Woody and Imani, child. So they getting along great. They joking. They woke up in the morning. This is day 3 still. They woke up in the morning. They joking about brushing teeth and stuff like that. She said she underneath the honeymoon spell. She's afraid because he asked her, like, are you scared to be with me or something like that? And she was like, yeah, I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to expect when we get home. Like, right now we're like in this honeymoon phase, like everything is going well, but what's going to happen when we get into the real world? And again, that's understandable because like it can be easier when you're in like a tropical environment to just be free, just relax, just chill and stuff like that, and not really think about any hard stuff or whatever. So she's equating the paradise to mean that they're not, it's not genuine, their connection and stuff like that. But like he said, you can't really fake no connection like that. Like they really have like a really good connection and stuff. So he's just basically saying like, I would know if I wasn't into you or whatever. I would know, or I would feel, I couldn't fake it. Basically, he was saying he couldn't fake what they were doing or whatever. And I agree with him, because we have seen, I've been watching this show for maybe 4 years, because I didn't start watching it when it first came out, but I started watching it maybe like 4 years ago or whatever. And we have seen people on their honeymoon, and if they're not getting along, they're not getting along. They cannot fake that mess. So I agree with him. There's some things you can fake, but connection like that, you just can't fake it and stuff. So basically, she waiting for the other shoe to drop and stuff, because she was saying like other relationships started off good, but they didn't end very well or whatever like that. So he was saying like, what was he saying? Oh, he was saying like just being around her makes him happy and stuff like that. And he looks like he's genuinely into her, genuinely digging her. Like he seems as though this is for him. Like she is the right person for him. She is making him change his viewpoints, making him like this is a good connection. They both wish that they gonna have this same vibe when they get home. Then later on in the day, we see they're doing like this dune buggy ride and stuff, and she's kind of nervous. She's like, we ain't even going on no date. I ain't never seen you drive. How you gonna drive and stuff? And it was like a closed course, so they was like, it was like a 20-minute ride or something like that, going up hills and stuff. And they was joking and laughing and stuff, and they had a good time. At first, it looked like she wasn't having a good time, and she looked like she was ready to get off. And she did mention, like, I'm just ready for this thing to be over with. But it seemed like she was having a good time. He definitely was having a good time. So, and then she was like, oh, you going to have to massage my back later on when we get back to the room or whatever. I was like, I hope she give him some on this trip, because she doing a whole lot of sexual type stuff and ain't giving him none. But we'll get to that later, child. Then Amelia and Bennett. So they're waking up. This is day 3. We going to rewind back. Well, yeah, I think it was still this was day 3, because they're waking up and stuff like that. They're just chatting about the goodness they're having. They're having a good time. The premise, everybody on this show, for the most part, was trying to talk about what was going to happen when they got home, because their honeymoon is about to be over, because these are the last few days of their honeymoon and stuff. So they're trying to anticipate what's going to happen when they get home. So they was kind of talking about that, Amelia and Bennett. And I think Amelia asked him, because he had an ex, right? Yeah. Amelia asked him what he would do with his ex. Not what he would do with his ex, but like living together and stuff like that. And he was just saying like he enjoyed the simple things. Like he would work late at night and the ex would have the lights on for him and stuff. Or she would fold his clothes and all this other stuff. So she was like, oh, you fold clothes or whatever? I will do whatever you want me to do to fold some clothes. And I was like, girl, I know that's right. Because I got like 3 baskets of laundry that is washed, but they is in the basket. I'm gonna have to tackle that tomorrow. But I hate folding clothes. Oh, I hate it. What is it about folding clothes, y'all? I don't know. Is anybody like us, me and Amelia, who just hate folding clothes? I hate folding clothes. But anyway, they was just kind of talking, and he was saying like he falls in love with people or gets infatuated with people really quickly and stuff. And she was like, oh my goodness, I wrote a song about that. So she pulled out a guitar. I said, she bought a guitar on the trip. She pulled out a guitar. She started singing a song for him and stuff. And it was cute or whatever. Later on, they were kind of walking around the resort. They were just kind of chatting, having a good time. And they were talking about death and whatnot. And she said she wanted to be donated to science. What else? He was talking about his childhood, because they was like in this, like, it looked like it was a hole in the cave or whatever. Well, it was a hole in the cave. And they kind of like crawled through, and it was just like sitting in the opening. It was really cute. Like, it was really cute. And they was kind of talking about their childhood and stuff. And he was saying like the currency to do stuff or get stuff was kisses and stuff. And she was saying like her parents didn't really care about what she did as a child or whatever, because she said one time she asked her dad, because she go over a friend's house, and dad was like, I don't care like what you asking me for type thing. And she was like, okay. And so she just went, to the friend's house, just she was just wild and free, all willy-nilly, like a hippie and whatnot. So she was just out here just living life and stuff. And he was like, well, would you want to do that with our children? And she was like, yeah, I would like that because I had a happy childhood. I was living carefree and stuff like that. So he said that the only thing he would change is like the screen time. So like, iPad time, TV time, phone time, stuff like that. And she agreed and whatever. And then they did like a flashback, because she was saying like Bennett would be like a great dad or whatever. And then they did a flashback to, I guess, his sister when she was saying like he doesn't think it's ethical to have biological children. So I was like, that's interesting. Like she sees him as being a good father, but he doesn't think it's ethical to have biological children. But he did say he would have kids because she wants to have kids. But that just don't sound right to me. Like I said in the other review, like you should want to have kids because you want to have kids, not because your partner wants to have children. But whatever. I guess they'll figure that out later on. But they were kind of walking and talking, and what else? Oh, and then they went through like this butterfly farm type thing. It looked like it was all still part of the resort. It didn't look like they went off the resort or anything like that, which was dope because I was like, wow, this resort got a lot of stuff happening. But it was really nice. They had like little monkeys there and stingrays and stuff. So I don't know if it was all on a resort, but we never saw them traveling anywhere. But then again, do we ever see them traveling to like, well, I guess we do see, yeah, because we just saw Amani and Woody and them going somewhere. So I don't think that was part of the resort. If that was part of the resort, that's I can see why they charge you $500, $600 a night. So, because that was really nice. What happened? I think that was it for them. Yeah, for right now, I should say, because I'm gonna get back to like the last nights and stuff like that. Brett and Olivia, they were waking up and they were talking about they have 2 more days left and stuff, and they were talking about not wanting to leave. Can they be stowaways and stuff? And I guess on them dang on monkey bars, he really tore his hands up, child, because he had blood blisters and whatnot. He was saying that he wanted to pop them, and she was like, just wait till tonight and whatnot. They was kind of joking on each other about flossing, and they was basically saying the same thing, that they have good chemistry, they like each other and stuff like that, and they're basically having like a good time. Woody wanted to meet with Brett and what's the child name? Olivia. Woody and Amani wanted to meet with Brett and Olivia because Amani likes Olivia and stuff like that. So he said he didn't really get to know Brett a lot at the bachelor party because Brett left. So, since Amani likes Olivia, he would have to get to kind of know Brett or whatever. So they're meeting in, I think they were meeting in Woody's room. Was they meeting in Woody's room? I can't remember. But anyway, they met somewhere in somebody's room, child. And Olivia was joking about Woody losing his ring and stuff. And he was like, I know, right? I'm mad about that. I'm going to give me a new one. So they're talking about that. And Amani said she wants to get to know Brett. And they're bringing up the bachelor party, how he did like a little Irish peace out type thing where he ain't even say bye nothing. He just hopped in the car. Amani is concerned about that because she like, well, is he going to leave when they get in a rough spot in the marriage or whatever like that? And he says he left because he drunk too much. He didn't eat that day. And we did see him tossing back a whole bunch. And he said he was about to he felt like he was going to throw up. So instead of throwing up in front of everybody, he just kind of dipped out and left. I don't know if I buy that too much, but he was drunk, but then he was hitting on everybody. So maybe he felt embarrassed and then sick too, or he had a booty call and he wanted to go hit that booty call because he was dating somebody for 2 days prior to getting matched up. So I don't know what y'all think about that one, but he says he was sick, so I guess we gotta believe him. Like I said, Amani said she real skeptical of Brett. So she's going to keep an eye on them for Olivia, whatever like that. What else happened with that whole meetup? Oh, Olivia and Brett was saying they were both having a good time. And Monty was like, well, you sound like me and Woody or whatever. We having a good time. And they both are saying like, it's going so smooth. What will happen once they leave or whatever. And Brett was saying something, what did he say? Something about, oh, well, I don't know. Because, yeah, I'm scared that she might have some stuffed animals made out of people's skin and stuff. And Monty was like, out of people's skin? That was kind of drastic. I was like, yeah, Brett is too much half the damn time, child. What else happened in that one, I think? Let me see. Because I think this was when they, I want to say this was after. No, I don't know if they went. 1 second, y'all. Okay, so then, I think it was one of those days, maybe 5 or, I think, because they left day 7. So maybe like day 4 or 5, something like that. Brett and Olivia went out to dinner and whatnot. And they were tasting like some crickets and stuff. I was like, ew, that's nasty. I would not do that. And Brett took like a whole big handful. Olivia was like, oh, she took one. I wouldn't know. Just give me regular guacamole, please, ma'am. But anyway, they're talking about work and stuff. And they're just talking and stuff. Wait a minute, I think I missed something, y'all. Cause it was something. Oh yeah, okay, all right. I see it. I got it, y'all. I got it. I'm sorry, cause I was like, it was something else, but this was before they had did the whole stingray thing. My bad. See, this is why I don't like writing it like this. I don't think I'm gonna do this again. Cause I don't like writing it from start to finish, so I don't miss nothing or confuse my damn self. But anyway, they're talking about work and stuff, and she asked them like, how much does he make and all this other stuff. They of course they don't say it out loud, child. They whisper it to each other. She makes more than him, but she's a nurse practitioner. So, I mean, I don't know. What does he do? Did they say what he does? So she makes more than him or whatever. And he was like, so how does it feel making 3 times more than? She was like, not 3 times or whatever. And he was like, well, you make more than me. And so she was like, well, how do you feel about it? Because it don't bother me. And he was like, well, it doesn't really bother me as well and stuff like that, as long as you treat my cats right or something like that. Sometimes I don't know when to take Brett seriously or just or is he joking, because he says stuff and it's like in a joking form, but I think he's serious. So I don't know, but she starts saying like she likes the finer things, and she says in her interview before the show, she was saying like she didn't ask for someone who made more money or made equal, but she didn't want someone basically who didn't make anything, because she likes the finer things and her bills have a certain price, and she just wanted to make sure that she'd be able to pay her bills. She would still be able to travel, because she says she likes to travel nicely. She likes the finer wines. She likes to shop at Target and not Walmart. So she was saying like, oh, I just made that up, but the Target and Walmart part. But anyway, she was basically saying like she liked the finer stuff. And Brett was kind of like, oh, okay. But he was I don't know if he was joking when he was responding to her or if he was serious, because you can see her getting irritated. So you can see like his responses were irritating her or whatever like that. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he was joking or being serious. Y'all, what y'all think? You think he was joking or being serious when he was responding to her when she kept saying like she likes the finer things, she likes this, she likes that? Because he was answering, but it just seemed like it was like a jokey. I don't know. It just seemed weird and stuff. Because she was saying like she liked finer wines or something, and he was like, well, I like the cheap stuff, and the cheap stuff is good. So I don't. But was he serious? Was he really serious about? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. She says that he's very attractive, but she's trying to find the commonalities that they have or whatever. They were back in the room, and he was asking about like, when do you have sex and stuff, and she said, well, I don't think she gave her answer, but he was just guessing out numbers and stuff, and he was like, so the 7th date, so you just wait till the 7th date to have sex or whatever. And she was just like, let's just move on, because he said the 3rd date and whatever. But she was saying like she just wants to make it like a connection, so they can have like a better marriage. So the marriage is basically not based off sex, it's based off emotional, physical, like all this other stuff. And he was kind of like, well, we in the confessional or whatever, he was saying like 7 dates, that's a long time to wait for like some sex or whatever. But he didn't say that to her face or whatever. Then the next day, or one of them days, child, they were swimming with the stingrays. They did like an underwater helmet. I forgot what it's called. Scuba something. Bae sent it to me earlier. I forgot what it's called. But you just put the helmet on. You go on a certain, like the bottom, not the bottom of the ocean, not the bottom, but a bottom of the ocean. and you just swim with the stingrays, and you breathe through oxygen underneath the helmet and stuff. So you're like really up close and personal with the stingrays versus like on the water and stuff like that. So it was real cute. They had like a good time. And Brett was saying like he wanted to get married so he could have like a travel partner or something like that. He was saying like Olivia is a perfect travel partner and whatnot, but he wants to talk about reality. He doesn't know if that will be the reality, like if this will continue the way it is. And so he asked her once they sit down and stuff, like, would you think that this is going to maintain like easy going? It's going to be level headed and stuff. And she was saying like, yeah, she feels as though that's going to be that way as long as they're basically communicating. And then they started talking about what makes them angry, and he was saying like nothing really makes him angry. He just communicates stuff and gets it out and stuff. She was like, well, I get kind of cranky and I get kind of mad, but she's gonna always put her best foot forward. And he was saying like, what do you do to de-stress? And so she was saying like she talks to her friend on FaceTime every day. She talks to her mama on FaceTime every day. She'd go out to dinner with two people. I guess her best friend and her husband, the best friend's husband. I don't know, because she gave their names. I don't know who the hell them people is, but she said their names, and she said she go out with them every day or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, that's what you did do. What are you going to do once y'all together or whatever? Because like I know he not saying like, all right, let me get into that. So she was like, he was just looking like, well, damn. So he said, well, where am I at in all of that? And she said, well, you're right there and stuff. And he was like, so I'm right there while you talking to your friend on FaceTime? Or she was like, yeah, we can do it together. So then, she was saying like, she asked him, what does he do? And he said, well, I don't really talk to nobody like that or whatever. Like, I don't really, talk to other people all that much or whatever. And she was saying like she only hung out with the two people every day because she was single, or she is single or something. She said. He was like, you were. And she was like, yeah, you're right. I was single. She was like, but I don't want to stop hanging out with them. Maybe like a little less in a week, maybe like 2 days or something like that. And it's like we're merging two people together, but we still have two separate lives, but we have our one life and stuff like that together. And like I don't think we should just have the compromise on that or whatever. And he was just looking like, okay. So he was like, well, what about us? Like, when are you gonna have time for us or whatever? Because he works Monday through Friday, no weekends and stuff. She works, she said she works all day, and then she comes home and works. So I'm assuming she's like at a clinic or something like that, where she may have to work on weekends or whatever. And then if she is, because I know I'm a nurse practitioner, but I don't work in an office or whatever. I do home business and stuff. So when I come home, I'm pretty much done for the day. But people who work in the office or maybe like a nursing home or something like that, they do their rounds and then they go home, and then or they do their rounds, the hospital, the office, whatever. They, once they finish their shift, then they come home and then they chart all freaking night. So that's probably what she's doing. Like if she works at the clinic all damn day and then she comes home, she probably get her little glass of wine, get her little dinner and stuff. And then she get on the FaceTime and talk to her friend a little bit. Then she charting the rest of the night. That's not going to really fly too much. I mean, like, she can't change her job, but she gonna have to learn how to balance that a little bit better, especially with Brett and stuff, because he's gonna need attention and he's gonna need his wants and needs. I cannot believe I'm sitting here taking it for Brett, but he's gonna want his wants and needs taken care of and stuff like that. So she gonna have to find a balance. And then if you're trying to go out with your friends and stuff 2-3 nights a week or whatever like that, like, what about him? Like, y'all are starting this new marriage, y'all need to bond and whatnot. And she was saying like, I'm not expecting you to give up everything you're doing for me and all this stuff. It don't sound like she's trying to compromise at all. Like, you need to figure out what's going on with your husband and bond with your husband and come together with your husband. Like, this is a new being. This not like y'all dated or anything like that. You just met this man. Y'all just been married a week or almost a week. you need to get to know him. Your friends gonna be there. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna understand that you're trying to get to know your husband and do like a work-life balance type thing. But she's gonna have to change her mindset to being married, and not be on the phone with her bestie all damn day, on the phone with her mama all goddamn day, be going out to dinner with the two best friends or whatever every night of the week. Like, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. And I hope she realizes that once they get back and they can discuss it a little bit more or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I feel like you should still maintain your social life as like, not your social, well, yeah, like your social life, as far as you want to still talk to your friends, still hang out with your friends. Like, if you want to go out for a girls' night or something like that with your friends or whatever, then that's fine and dandy. But like a every night thing or all that other stuff, like, no. Like, if you got a problem, you can call your best friend and tell your best friend the problem and stuff like that. But your husband, eventually, in this case, because they just met, but if like, usually it should be like your best friend and someone you can talk to and stuff like that. You need to be growing to become his best friend and vice versa. So when you have a problem or you want to de-stress, you can go to your husband. Like, not taken away from your best friend, but you should be able to go to your husband and stuff like that and talk to your husband and whatnot, versus going to your bestie and telling your bestie and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Y'all let me know down there in them comments, which I'm sure y'all will, how y'all feel about the conversation that they had. And I got, who else we got? Y'all see, I see Christina and Henry last, and I'm still like, whatever. But at any rate, we see Christina and Henry. They open up, well, they at like lunch or something. The waiter then brought the wrong food, or she ordered the wrong shit. Who knows, child? But it was supposed to be pasta, I guess. But it was some mushrooms and something. And then she was complaining about the mushrooms not tasting like mushrooms. We see Henry. He was kind of vocal this episode. I was like, okay, Henry, we see you. The producer's child, they then called the child Christine. She's a Christina. Henry was like, oh shit. He was like, I'm noticing like her patience. She's not patient. She can get kind of irritated or whatever. And it was bothering him. So he said he was going to bring it up to her and talk to her about it or whatever. It was a question. What was the question? It was one question they asked, but they had the subtitles up on the screen, but Lifetime or whatever put something else up there. So then I couldn't really read what the hell the freaking subtitle had said or whatever. So it was something about clarification and communication or something like that. And she was just like, no. And then the next questions the producer had asked her, like, is there anything that y'all want more or less from each other? Henry started eating, and she was like, did you just start eating because you didn't want to answer the question? He was like, no, I'm going to answer the question. So he asked her the question, and she was saying like she expects him to be more aggressive, that she's not used to the men she's dated not being aggressive and stuff like that. So she basically wants him to make the first move. She doesn't know if he's attracted to her or not. She's concerned about that. Henry is like, well, I'll try. He told her about her no, he said he was going to move at his own pace. He moves a little slower and stuff like that. And he's a little guarded and all this other stuff. And she was saying like she's working on her patience. And I was like, I know you are with Henry ass, because you want me waiting all goddamn day and all year, child. You want to be buried and resurrected into a whole nother body and stuff, reincarnated or whatever. And not resurrected, I said resurrected, reincarnated before Henry make a goddamn move, child. Henry ain't making no move. He ain't never pick up no girl and nowhere. He ain't never, child. He ain't never asked no woman out on no date. How you expect Henry to goddamn be aggressive? That's not in his nature. He's not going to do it. I don't see it. What y'all think? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Then we see they had like a cute little moment paddleboarding and stuff like that. Henry was scared, but he actually was pretty good at it and stuff. Why? He was making little jokes and stuff, but it was more to himself, and he was just so dry with it. But he was making little jokes. It was like a different Henry we haven't seen. So, because at one point, they was paddleboarding, and I'm about to call the child Olivia. what's the girl name? Christina. She had got way behind him. So he was up there just moving with it. And he turned around. I was like, oh no, my wife is gone. I think I lost her. Let me go find her. Or I'm going to be married anymore. Like, he was making jokes, but I was like, okay, Henry, you have like a little sense of humor, but you so dry. It doesn't come out funny. But they had a good time. Her ass ended up falling into the damn water and shit, but she was laughing and whatnot. They had a really good time. I was cracking up when her ass fell though. I was like, that's what happens when you be mean to people. But what happened? I think that was it for like the individual stuff. Okay. So then everyone, like I said, they met up for like drinks or whatever in the middle of the day, and like, you know, guac and chips and stuff like that. So everybody meeting up, they're talking about, I don't know what Miles and Karen was talking about. I guess she was supposed to race with him or something, and he thinks he gonna outrun her, and everybody like, no fam, she gonna win. Just, you might as well just not run at all. Who went around the table? Was it Woody? Oh no, it was Amani. She was asking Amelia and Bennett, talking about some, have y'all kissed or y'all kissing or something. What the hell she say? All ghetto. Y'all be kissing? I said, girl, no. Amelia and Bennett was like, yeah, but we haven't made whoopee yet. I was just like, oh Lord, what year is this? Henry and Christina, they was just like not much kissing. They haven't been kissing. Child, have they even touched, held hands, hugged, child, by? They was like, they taking it slow. Woody was like, you can't even kiss your wife then. What the hell? Like, what's going on with that? Karen said, no, Miles said Karen kissed him on the cheek. I said, and of course we know Woody and Amani be smooching, child. They be getting it in, and well, not getting it in, getting it in, but you know, making out type thing. Then they went around asking what fruit would your spouse be or whatever. Woody would be a pineapple because he's sweet. Karen said no. Miles said Karen would be a guava because it's new. He's not sure if he's gonna like it or not, but in the sweet. Who was it? Karen and not Karen and Miles. Who is some people named Christina and Henry? They said they didn't know or whatever. Why Christina in the goddamn confessional was saying like, I would just put them as a basic fruit, like an apple or orange. Like, it's a good fruit, but there are others out there that's better. I said, oh, wow, the shade of it all. That was horrible. I said, oh Lord. Then Olivia walked up with Brett. And she was like, y'all girls want to go get a drink over at the bar or whatever, take some shots. So the girls go off. But they're not that far from the guys' table. Like, literally, the guys' table is, the guys' table is here. Right. The girls right here. So they're not far. And this is going to be very important in a second. So they joking and stuff like that. What happened? Oh, the girls go to the bar to get a drink. They chatting and stuff like that. They saying it's to feel weird to be married and stuff like that. Amani, saying that she's loving the affection, she's loving the attention, and she loves that it's a love connection and blah blah blah. Bennett is over at the table joking and stuff. And then Miles, he asked how would they rate their marriage or whatever. So Brett says, you can't quantify love. Oh no, not Brett. Bennett was like, you can't quantify love. So I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna just say it's a 10 or whatever. Child, because I wrote these damn. Oh, so then the girls, I think Amani asked how they would rate the. Of course, we know this is a producer question because they just ain't pop up with this on their own. But at any rate, Amani says she will rate hers as an 8, but she is unsure of it all or whatever. Woody says he will rate it as a 9. So they kind of close. And he said he's digging her, but he's like, when is it not going to be easy? Like, why is it so easy? So he's questioning the flow of it or whatever. Oh no, not Amani. That was Amelia. Amelia said it was an 8. So Bennett said it was a 10. Amelia said it was an 8. My bad, y'all. Because I'd be writing down letters and then it's 2 A's. Woody said it was a 9. Amani said it was a 9. So they're together with that. And like I said, Amani is scared and whatnot like that. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. Karen rates it a 6 out of 7 because she says she likes masculine men. I'm so tired of her with that shit. She said he speaks it, but she hasn't seen it. Well, what does she want? Like, what is considered a masculine man? Like, somebody, I don't know what what her I would like to know what her definition is of a masculine man. Like, he's not all hard and like, oh yeah, bitch, pick up my motherfucking shoe. Like, he ain't all like that. Like, what does she want? Like, she want him to punch somebody in the face, like beat somebody up. Like, he carrying heavy shit. Like, he's just in touch with his emotions and whatnot. What's wrong with that? I mean, he ain't crying all the damn time, and that would get on my nerves. But like, I wonder what her definition is of a masculine man, because right now she really irritating me with it. Brett says he doesn't know how to rate it and he doesn't want to make it a joke. But he overhears Olivia, because again, this is the guys' table. Okay, this is the guys' table, and this is the girls standing at the bar. Okay, so Brett is saying like it's dehumanizing and stuff like that. He don't want to give a rating and stuff. Olivia with the ladies is like, oh, I would rate it like a 7.5, and you know, it's not perfect, but it's at a slow pace. So like, yeah, it's a marriage. So Brett hears her because again, they this close to each other. Child, I say they couldn't have went like around the other side of the bar or like, child, no. He, like I said, he overheard it. He was in his feelings strong, okay? Because you could see like his face change. You could see like he was wearing them feelings on his chest right up for that. Christina says it's a 5. Henry says it's a 7. I say, Henry, what relationship you in? But whatever. He says he knows it could be frustrating to be with him. So I said, okay, at least he's knowledgeable of that shit. She was saying like she wants to know if he likes her, because she at the wedding had to ask like, are you attracted to me? Like, do you like? And he was like, oh yeah, of course. So she wants that more like aggressiveness. Like, tell me like I look pretty. Tell me this. Tell me what we gonna do. Like, tell me this, stuff like that. So it's different for her. Like, he's not telling her. He's not complimenting her basically. So I don't think she wants. Well, I guess she do want to aggressive. I guess she wants him to grab her and kiss her and throw her on the table and all that other stuff, but in a sexual way, not like volatile. That's not gonna be Henry. But I can see like if she wants compliments, like what's the problem with him? That doesn't have to be like aggressive. That's just like you complimenting me, you giving me words of affirmation type thing. So I mean, yeah. What happened? Brett, like I said, he don't want to give out his number or nothing like that. Christina and what's his face? Cause Miles, before everybody was at the table, Miles was like, well, you're not gonna give up your number. So he was like, no, this is to Brett. No, that's dehumanizing. I'm not gonna do it or whatever like that. So he was just like firm with it, and everybody was like, okay. But Christina, the girls came to the table, and Christina and them was talking about the numbers and stuff like that. And Christina was like, well, I don't think it's dehumanizing, like you just give out your number and stuff like that. And Brett was like, no, I don't want to give out my number. She talking about something, she finds it real sketchy and stuff, and she thinks it's like an easy cop out and whatnot. Then later on, Brett and Christina, Henry, and Olivia are all in the same room. And Christina wants to bring up the goddamn rating numbers again and whatnot. And she was saying like it bothered her and like he should still give out the number. I was dying when she said it bothered her, and he was like, oh, that's a shame. Oh shit, that shit made me laugh so hard. But anyway, like, bitch, I don't give a fuck with you. Why is that bothering you? Like, it ain't bothering my girl, so like, what is the problem? But Christina says it's a red flag, and she wants to talk to Olivia alone. She talks to Olivia and tells her like it's a red flag because it reminds her of guys that she used to date and all this other stuff. And it was just kind of like, mind your goddamn business. Worry about why Henry not talking to you, okay? Worry about why he not touching your hand. Worry about why he not communicating with you. And she was saying like, if you see something, say something type thing. And she just wants to tell Olivia out of love and not hate. And Olivia was like, okay, well, thank you, but I don't have an issue with him or whatever. And Olivia in the confession was like, she only know him for like 5 minutes. Like, she don't really know him like that. But I could see Brett can be an asshole, but I don't really feel like he was being an asshole. If he didn't want to give a rating number on the marriage or anything like that, because maybe he was afraid he was going to hurt Olivia's feelings or something like that. So maybe that's why he opted out of doing it. Like, she don't know why he did it. Like, she could have asked him or something like that. Or maybe Olivia could have asked, like, was it really because it was dehumanizing? or did you not want to hurt my feelings, or something like that. Like, you just assuming shit and you don't even know what you're talking about. So Christina really like irritated me with that. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about that one. Then let me go backtrack to everybody's the last night and stuff like that. Amelia and Bennett, they're building a fort, telling scary stories and stuff. They're talking about the unknown again when they get home and stuff. Child, Bennett was just going on. Amelia was tired. It was a busy day. She went to sleep on his ass. Why he wake her up? And she was like, oh, what did I miss and stuff? He was like, oh, I was telling you how I'm going to love doing these things. So she going to the movies, going to the theater, and she was just falling asleep again. And then she went back to sleep. And then he was like, well, good night or whatever. I was like, well, you saw the girl was tired. Like, you couldn't have finished that conversation another day, Bennett. Like, come on now. But she went back to sleep, and that was it. What was the last thing with Brett and... Oh, let me see. Because I said Amelia and Bennett. Brett and Olivia later on that night. Oh, Lord, I can't find it. Oh, later on that night, Olivia saw that something was weird with Brett, but he really wasn't talking or nothing like that. And we found out earlier, like the next day, why he was bothered and stuff. But she was trying to talk to him, and he was really giving her like these one-word answers and stuff. And it made her frustrated because she wanted to talk about like what was bothering him, and he was saying like nothing was wrong. And then she was like, well, if you have something to say, like communicate it. And he was saying like, I hate when I give an answer to people and then people still want to ask me the same question over and over again, like I'm gonna have a different answer and stuff. And so she trying to like talk about something else, I guess, about what they're going to do when they get home and stuff. And he was like, well, you got to work, so aren't you going to be busy? And then we got to film with these people for 2 days and stuff. And she was like, well, look, we need to be talking about what's going to happen outside of this or whatever. And that shit just kind of got upset and kind of walked off or whatever. The next day, he apologized for his what he did and stuff like that. And he was saying like basically he was upset because he overheard the rating and stuff like that, and that hurt his feelings. So he was trying to get out of that, but he should learn how to do it in a better way and stuff like that. So they kind of fixed, the issue and stuff, because she was really like hurt, because she was saying like we was on a high and then we about to end it on a low. So she was really hurt. I told you about Amelia and Bennett, Brett and Olivia, Woody and Amani. Woody Woody and Amani came back to the room. Woody had rose petals on the bed, on the floor, on the tub. I said, well, they about to bounce you wild tonight, y'all. So they got in the tub. They was kind of talking, being all romantical and stuff like that. Then they got in the shower. And then they got in the bed, and she was like, well, you go ahead and turn off the lights if we going to do this. I said, you better go and give him something, because if she would have did all that, and she still want to spread it wide to him, Woody, you should have moved on. But for real, though. Because, no, she was being a big tease. If she would have did all that, and they still ain't give him nothing, I'd have been looking at her side-eyed. But they had a good night. Karen and Miles, they really didn't show them that night, but in the morning they got up early and they were talking, and he was excited about they was married for 7 days and stuff, and she was like, yay, but she was still kind of tired. He was saying like they compliment each other, or no, they both, what was it? Yeah, they both compliment each other or something like that. He brings them intimacy and asks her like what is her thoughts on it and whatnot, and she was saying like is we move along when we both ready and stuff, and it could be like maybe 2 weeks from now, 7 weeks from now, or never. And he was like, no, I ain't going with that never. She was like, I'm just saying, he was like, no, but for real, we ain't doing that never shit. I'm like, Karen don't look like she gonna spread it wide for you, Miles. I'm sorry to say that, boo. But she was saying like, we need like an emotional connection first and other connections before we move on to that. I don't think Miles gonna get none. What y'all think, y'all? What y'all think? And then I told you about, I think that was it. Was that everybody? Brett, Olivia, I told you about them. Amelia and Bennett, Karen and Miles, Woody and Amani. And I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, Christina and Henry. They didn't really show them. They just showed them like the next day. They said that they had a good time. They talked about getting back to reality and stuff, both being honest, being able to communicate and stuff. And they were saying like their vacation was like a really good thing, and they're just trying to figure out what they have in common and all that other good stuff. And basically, she still want him to take charge, which I really don't find that's going to happen at all. Amani and Woody, they were talking about a good night they had. Obviously, he was able to hit some walls because she was smiling and said, "We still good." So... what else? Oh, but she was upset because he peed in the shower. What is with everybody being upset that people pee in the shower? I'm not saying nothing that, well, I don't care. Like, it's going down the drain, shit. Like, whatever. It ain't going on your foot or nothing like that, because that's just nasty. And then everybody said goodbye, and then they all head to the airport. That was basically it for Married at First Sight tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do this the way I just did it tonight, because I was all confused, and I don't know if I left out anything, and then my video's still long as fuck. So, at any rate... I apologize if I left out anything. I was trying a new method, but I don't know if I'm going to stick with it because, yeah, I'll try different. I'll try my regular way with like a little twist on it next week. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all felt about this episode tonight. If y'all like this review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, but you're watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.